If you hunt with 450 Bushmaster, you're going to want to see this. Welcome back, and thanks for joining Todd the Gun Guy. I could not wait for this weather to try my Blackbeard fire in the snow. It is close to Christmas, great stocking stuffers, great for the inside of your house for fires. All right, so I want to take this and I want to smash it in a snowball, and we're going to see if this bad boy lights. There it is. It has been getting snowed on for a little bit. There we go, folks. It works in the wind, it works in the snow. Totally. Blackbeard Fire, don't forget to use my coupon code TODD10, TODD10 for your 10% discount. That's blackbeardfire.com. I want to talk about the difference of a 250 grain versus a 300 grain in the 450 Bushmaster. Which one do you think is a better round for whitetail deer? Leave your comments down below. Let's take a look at the Hornady Custom 450. This is a 250 grain FTX with the Teflon tip. We'll take a look at that. Versus the Federal non-typical hollow point 300 grain. We'll take a look at both of these guys, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think is going to be better for deer. Alright, so we have the FTX and we have the Federal non-typical. When I first started deer hunting with my Ruger American, had the ranch style rifle 450 Bushmaster, I started with the Hornady Custom 250 grain hollow point with the flexible or Teflon expanding tip. That's what I used. Okay. This review is strictly going to go off my personal experiences, not opinion, but I want to say it's my personal experiences that I've had with whitetail deer. Like I said, I first started out with the Hornady 250 FTX Teflon hollow point, 250 grains to shoot whitetail deer. Most recently, I switched over to the Federal not typical whitetail deer 300 grain round. Alright, so let's dial it back a little bit. Prior to the Ruger 450 Bushmaster straight wall cartridge, I used to use a 12 gauge. Had the Remington pump, 870, and a 1 ounce slug. That's what I used. 2 3/4. I didn't even use a 3-inch. And I'll tell you what, I used to knock deer down. They'd drop straight in their tracks. And it had a lot of punch to that 1 ounce lead slug. When I switched over to the 250 grain, it's very accurate. There's not as much recoil. Let's take a look at the velocity and speed of this 250 grain. You see, it's going to be a very fast round. It's going to be a very accurate round because of the Teflon. I feel that helps its trajectory, probably with the wind. It's also going to help when it hits the animal. It's going to push and help expand your 250 grains there. So let's talk about it. I got to be honest. The deer that I hit with this thing, I hit one in the front leg and took the bottom of the heart out, and it still ran probably about 50 yards. And I did hit several others that decided to run several hundred yards. So yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on shot placement, of course, right? A dead heart shot, a lung shot, wherever you hit it. But at the end of the day, I got to admit, this round did not effectively punch the deer like I thought it would. I mean, it hit where it had to hit, but the deer definitely seemed to run. Big mule kick and take off, but they did not drop in their tracks, unfortunately, with this 250 grain. I thought to myself, what else could we look at? We'll go take a look and see if there's a heavier piece of lead out there. And walking through the stores, I happened to come across the non-typical whitetail hollow point 300 grain. Of course, it caught my eye right out of the gate, being heavier, 300 grain. Let's try it. So there it is. So you can see there, it is a hollow point, right? And I'll tell you what, there's 300 grains. I said to myself, this thing's going to have some knockdown power. It's going to have some punch. Well, lo and behold, this year, it knocked 2 deer down. And I mean, it knocked the socks off, okay? So I was blessed to take 2 deer this year of gun season with these 300 grains. First shot, right in the heart, shoulder, broke her shoulder completely, and she walked about 5 feet and dropped. Button buck, shot same position, just right behind the front leg. Heart shot, ran about 25 feet and dropped. Let's take a look at the speed, velocity, stuff like that, the specs on the 300 grain, and show you a quick comparison. Something interesting as well, when we were at the range setting in at 50 yards, pretty much, I mean, I was within an inch of each other in sighting it in. So I did not adjust my scope at all for the 250 versus the 300 at 50 yards. It did shoot a little bit low at 25 yards, of course. You know it's going to do that before it picks up its velocity. But I did not adjust the scope at 50 yards. They both come 20 to a box, and the price ranges, I mean, everybody knows, right? It's hard to get, very expensive, but oh boy, I think I paid anywhere from $24.97 to $48 now for these things. For me, most of the deer I'm going to shoot are anywhere 25 to 80 yards max. I don't think I've taken a shot past 80 yards. So they're always in close. That's why I'm sticking with the 450 Bushmaster versus the 350 Legend. I don't have any ballistic gel testing. I don't have any speed test. All I have is my personal experiences that I saw when I hit the deer with the 250 grain FTX versus the 300 grain Federal. And I got to say that this Federal really punched them hard. At the end of the day, the winner for me is the 300 grain Federal. Non-typical whitetail. It's just more lead, more knockdown power. May not be as fast, but I'll tell you what, they knew they were hit when this piece of lead hit them. Nothing against the Hornady, very accurate as well, but it just didn't do the job that the Federal did for me. I do want to mention about Olight. You guys use my coupon code TODD10, that's TODD10, and you guys will get a 10% discount on your Olight products. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Until next time, Todd the Gun Guy!